Hi. Thank you for meeting with
Sure,
me.
my pleasure. Have a seat. Thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah, thank you for your time.
Sure, my pleasure. So you're from Huntsville?
I am.
Yeah, how long have you been?
I've lived in Huntsville basically all of my life for the past 15 years.
Where were you born?
Louisville, Texas,
Where is that?
near Lake Dallas.
Oh, okay. Do you have family here?
My immediate family, but the rest of my family lives in Georgia.
Oh, okay. And do you have siblings?
I have a younger brother,
Oh, okay. And how old is he?
17.
Oh, cool. Okay, well, let's get in. Let me look at your resume really quick and see if there's anything I need to know. All right. Okay. So, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I am a IS major with a focus in cybersecurity. I am a bit of a jack of all trades because of my diverse background. I have worked as a competitive gymnastics coach, but I've also led both after-school care and sports camps. I have interned for both a social media marketing company and a conceptual fine arts studio. I've learned so many different things from all of these positions, from conflict resolution skills to planning company events and daily events. While working through school, I have managed to keep up pretty good grades, which has landed me on the Dean's List this year. And when I do get free time, on the rare occasion, I like to play intramural volleyball at UAH.
Well, congratulations on the Dean's List.
Thank you.
That's impressive. So, what did you like about coaching competitive gymnastics?
I have really learned so much. Not only have I learned so much about how gymnastics works in that atmosphere instead of it being just like a recreational thing, but I've really learned so much from the kids. And I get to see so many different personalities emerge out of the children, and being able to see all of that, but also learn how to communicate with those, because there's some kids that learn completely differently than others. And so you have to be able to tailor yourself to that. Not only that, but find the fine line between being their coach and being in charge, but also being somebody that they can lean on when they need it.
Cool. I see here that you worked at Low Mill. What did you do there? Who did you work for?
That's where I worked for Julie McCullough, which was at her Conceptual Fine Arts Studio, and Rachel Harshenko, and she did social media marketing. They had a joint studio, so I got to work for both of them and get both aspects.
What did you do for them?
With Julie, it was a lot more of managing her data online and posting for her company on all different platforms, and doing the daily office work of taking phone calls and organizing and printing off things. And with Rachel, I got more of, I created logos on Photoshop, and I created websites for businesses and tried to figure out the best way to market companies.
So that was with Julian Studios and with Social Media 360.
That was.
Okay. Where did you work doing gymnastics and the camps and things like that?
Alabama Gymnastics.
Oh, okay. And is that a local?
It is. It's on Winchester Road.
Oh, okay. What is your current employer?
Alabama Gymnastics.
Okay. How did you hear about this position?
I was looking for jobs on Indeed.com for entry-level internships for something in my degree field.
Okay. And why do you want this job?
I want this job because I think it's time for me to steer more in the direction of my degree. While I've learned so much from everything else that I've done, if I want to progress in cybersecurity, I think it's best that I start now.
Okay. Why are you leaving your current job?
Don't get me wrong, I love where I work and the kids with my whole heart. But I feel that it is time that I take a step in the other direction and get my foot in the door somewhere so that way I can start working towards my degree and start working towards getting that security clearance.
Okay. Why? Can you tell me a little bit about your strengths?
My strengths.
Your greatest strengths.
I think that my greatest strengths would be my adaptability, my dedication, and my communication skills. And that being because I've worked so many diverse jobs that I have had to learn to communicate with so many different types of people and interact in so many different types of ways. And I'm always the person to push myself to go the extra mile in the work that I do.
Okay. So with that being said, what do you think your greatest weaknesses are?
I think my greatest weaknesses would be that I am too critical on myself and that I try to please everyone. I know that it's not possible to be absolutely perfect in everything I do on a day-to-day basis, but I am definitely the person to strive for it.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I'm hoping that in 5 years, I will be progressed in Dynetics, move myself up the totem pole, so to say. I'm hoping to turn this internship into a career.
So you're hoping to be hired on after your internship is up?
I am hoping.
What gets you up in the morning?
I think what gets me up in the morning is knowing that I got blessed with another day and that I am here for a reason, and I'm hoping to be able to make an impact on somebody every day.
And what do you think that impact would be?
I'm hoping that through me, people are able to see somebody that's hardworking and that is willing to put in the effort to go for their goals. Not only that, but to see positivity and how to keep lighthearted of everything that goes on, because, you know, everybody has their own struggles, but I really hope that I help encourage my next generation of women that, hey, you know, this is possible. Like, we're breaking boundaries in careers like cybersecurity that are mostly male dominated, where we are here to show that we're just as smart and we are able to do the job just as well, and that this is an opportunity for us too.
Well, then do you consider yourself a leader or a follower?
Can I say both?
Mm-hmm.
I say both because when given the opportunity to step up and take that responsibility to be leader, when that is needed, I'm definitely the person to do it. I will step up and I will lead. But at the same time, I know when to step back and to stay in my place and to use something as a learning opportunity.
So how do you deal with stress at work?
I try to step away and give myself a moment to breathe, so that way I don't react out of emotions. And when away from work, I like to play volleyball, which I let out my stress that way, which I mentioned before. But also just take some quality time to be by myself and figure out my thoughts. So that way, when I do have a clear head, I'm able to go back and conquer those issues.
What other activities do you like to participate in?
So I currently work at the gymnastics studio, which is kind of ironic because I can't do gymnastics myself. But what I try to do for myself is go to the gym on a regular basis and do weightlifting, because it's a great stress reliever, but it's also a good way to keep a healthy mind and a healthy body. It definitely helps in all aspects.
Um, so, what skills do you think you have for this position?
So right now, I have the skills that I have acquired through my classes at UAH so far, which include Microsoft Office programs, Python coding language, marketing management, and other business attributes. Along with this, I have great communication, leadership, activity planning, and communication skills.
Um, so, did you ever do anything in your current job that had to do with business aspect of your career that has helped you?
I have worked in the office, and in the office, I answer phones and I work with the data online, and in those kinds of aspects. But what exactly are you asking?
Well, did you help with the website or did you do accounting? I mean, what kind of?
I have helped with their website, and I've helped format emails to send out to the parents to be able to keep them up to date on everything that's going on. And I do help occasionally with, processing the checks and payroll. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. So, what kind of student were you at Madison County High School?
I graduated in the top 20%, and I took pre-AP and AP classes, and I made almost all A's. I was an ambassador, and I was on the yearbook staff, so I tried to be pretty involved. But I also was on homecoming court for 3 years and prom court for 2.
Oh. So tell me about your being at UAH. What kind of student were you there?
So at UAH, I am on the Dean's List, which I've said previously, and I got the Merit Scholarship to attend, but I've also tried to be involved with the Church of the Highlands youth group and intramural volleyball.
All right. Well, what do you think your greatest professional achievement is?
I think my greatest professional achievement is when I was interning for Julium Studios, because I helped them launch the beginning of their business. So I was there to help plan the big launch and help them make sure that everything was set up how they needed it to for that to be successful, and it was very successful.
Okay. So how would your coworkers describe you?
I think that they would describe me as dependable, because I am always one to be there when they need me to be there. I think that they would say that I'm easy to work with, and that I have good work ethics, and that I am one to get the job done. So when I'm there, it's not going to be a pain to work with me, and I'm going to make sure that I do what I have to do. But also, if you need me for anything, like, they know that they can lean on me if it's needed. I would be a good team player.
Tell me about a time when you had to deal with conflict on the job.
There was a time where I had a coworker that did not like me and criticized everything that I did. And I tried to keep my mouth shut and just kind of stay to myself and not react to her actions and just kind of let it go. But it got to a point where she would confront me in front of clients and my other coworkers. So I went to the boss and asked what she would like me to do about the situation. And so from then on, I tried to do what I was told and how to handle that. But it only continued to get worse. So my boss ended up having us meet up with her, have a meeting where we discussed the conflict among all of us.
And then what happened?
It became more escalated with the coworker, and she kind of lashed out at everybody. So my boss asked me to leave so she could handle it, but it ended up getting to a point where she just became so I don't know the right word, upset about everything that she quit.
And how did you feel about that?
It was hurtful, but I also know that I know who I am and how I work, and that it was unreasonable for the reaction that I was getting. And so I tried to keep myself from reacting because I know who I am and I don't have to listen to her and what she said. And so it helped me become a little bit stronger in standing in who I am and how I work. But it was tough, but I learned to let it go and not react out of emotions.
Okay, well, would you consider relocating?
Definitely. I'd be willing to do anything at this point for my career.
Do you have any questions for me?
When can I expect to hear back from you?
Well, we have a few more applicants that we need to interview, and I will get back to you within 2 weeks. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you for meeting with me.
My pleasure.